Taver here with my garden. I'm outside here, and I just wanted to show you a few things that I look for. There's many things to look for when your garden is first starting to wake up. So I'm just going to show you a few things here that I've got coming up in my garden and what I look out for. Okay, so I'm just going to switch this to the other way so you can see the garden, I'm hoping. There we go. Okay, so down here, I'm going to get a tool here so that I can point. Okay, so right here, all of these are foxglove right here. And when they first were uncovered by the snow and everything, there's lots of dead on them. And so you just have to go in and you just have to chop that all back on it. And don't pull on it because you'll pull the little crowns right out. So you don't want to do that. Now right here next to it, I'm hoping that this is my Siberian wallflower that I've got planted right here. I didn't mark it down last year, and which I should have because memory is terrible. That's for darn sure. And right beside it, I've got something right here that's called Erebus. Now this is a ground cover, and this blooms white. And I have it along the border of this back garden. I'm going to try and extend it so that it'll go all the way along. So how I'm going to do that is, it's a tricky plant to get to make more of them. So what you have to do when you're trying to do this is, for this one in particular, you've got to stretch it out, and it will root all along this little hairy part right here. I'll get right down here. There's little hairy parts right here. So I'm just going to go over here and get my bucket of soil, and which I didn't take over, sorry about that. But here is the Erebus right here, and there's long strings. So what I do is I just stretch them out in the direction I want them to go. I want these guys to come back this way. So I'm going to stretch them out, and I'm just going to put some dirt on top. And this isn't a soilless mix. This is, it does have the soilless mix in there, but it also has my regular soil from my garden, from my compost, so that it doesn't fly away on me when it dries out. So I'm just going to cover those guys up, and I have lots and lots of them that can be stretched out, and so I can make a longer border with them. These ones are hard to propagate, but I do it, and this is the time of year to do it, when it's cooler and it's wetter out. And they're going to be blooming. They're just starting to bloom here now. And this is just a white carpet. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. So when I do take it to break it off, I try and see. Now this guy here has got a little bit of a root in here. So I would dig that up. I'll pop that guy up and just see where that root is. Okay, so I can see that it's going somewhere else here, but it does have some hairy parts right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut it right here, and then I'll find it again right over here. I'll just move that guy out of there, and then I'm just going to pop. This is my Hoya knife, so I'm just going to pop that up like that. And they have lots and lots of arms on them. So now I'm going to see, whoops, right over here, look, there's more roots here. So that's pretty darn good, and there's more roots down there. So I'll just cut them off because there's lots of roots in that little bunch there. And then I'll just pot that guy up. And then I can take that to another spot in my garden, or I can have it for the plant sale, whatever you want to do with your new little plants that you're getting going there. So this is my homey hoe, and I'll just show you what I do with it. This here is actual grass that's growing in here that's landed itself in here. So I'm just going, because of the point, you can get right into where you want to go. And so I'm just going to loosen that soil up so that I don't hurt too much of the plant around it. And then I'm just going to give that a shake and take that out. So away it goes. Alrighty, so let's just move down a little bit here. I'm just going to show you some other things that I've got in the garden today before we get snowed on again. So this plant here is a Dianthus, but this one is a tall one that I have, and it gets probably about 12 to 18 inches tall, and it's got multicolored different pinks kinds of blooms and stuff. So and I just love it. I love it everywhere in the garden. So now I'm just going to walk down a little bit further here and show you a few more things. So right in here, I've got some sedum right in here. Now this is called voodoo, and he doesn't spread like the other sedums do. In fact, I wish he would spread more. But it's not the blossom on this one that you're looking for in your garden. You're looking for some other colors in your garden. And so this is a deep, deep burgundy, and it's just beautiful. And right next to it, I see, right here, I have a Columbine that has self-seeded over here from the mother plant that's farther back. These guys here get, probably 2 feet tall. And this one here has a red and white double blossom on it. It's really, really pretty. It's called Nora Barlow, I think. So if you're looking that up, there'll be some at the club sale for that. So I'm just going to come down a little bit further down here because I have some other things that are marked here. And so I just wanted to show you. It's called lungwort, or Mary and Joseph, some people call it. And you can see all of these little babies here. I know that that's all of these guys that they've sown. So I'm just going to let them grow. I'm not going to dig them up right now. I'll let them come up for the next season. But here, but over here I wanted to show you how congested this area is right here. This was a stuffing area last year. I had little bits of stuff left over, so I just stuck it in one spot here. So I'm going to have to dig up this whole area. Right here, you can just see coming up here it's another Columbine. But this one here is dark. It's not that limey green color, so I'm not sure what color it's going to be, but it's probably a purple one. And right here with these sticks, that's the milkweed that's coming up. It'll take quite a while for the shoots the new shoots to come up. And then right here I've got creeping phlox. I just had a little piece that broke off, so last year I stuck it in this little spot. Must have looked pretty empty here when I was sticking so many things in here. And right next to it, over here, this is a penstemon. It's called Husker Red. And again, this is not really for the blossom. It's for the color of the plant that you have, that you want in your garden, just to have something a little bit different. And here's another milkweed, a big milkweed right over here that I'm going to have to dig up this area. He's too tall to be here anyways, because the milkweed are, oh gosh, they must be 4, maybe even 5 feet tall. when they mature. And then I have a sedum. This is Autumn Joy back here. And going down towards the front, I have a coral bell, or a heuchera, down here. And I don't know what the name of that one is, but again, it's that dark foliage in here. And then I have some creeping jenny. Now this creeping jenny is like a yellow limey green. Creeping jenny is really invasive, and the only place that I have it is right around this little turn in my garden that goes up the driveway, and I keep it just in this little spot. And I can see already that over here it's trying to creep its way in here, so I'm going to have to just pop that up a little bit and take that out of there before the root system gets too big on it, and then it's harder to get every little piece out. So what else have we got here? And over here I have this is Happy Returns. This is a daylily, and it's beautiful, beautiful yellow. It's a soft yellow, and it's like Stella d'Or. It repeat blooms, but this one here is a softer yellow than the Stella d'Or. And then I've got my bleeding heart at the back here, and I'm not sure what that one is over there. I know it's a daylily, but I forget what it is. So, but the other thing that I wanted to show you in the garden is sometimes you have erosion, and I'm just going to bring you over here. I'm trying to train a euonymus to go up onto my back deck here to fill this all in over here. But right over here, the root system, it's all become bare in that spot, and that happened last year on me too. And I thought that I had gotten enough soil on there, because now the root system is so big on it that I can't get it buried any farther. So I'm going to have to probably maybe put some rocks, or maybe get a few patio stone, decorative stones or something, and put that in front of it, and then top it up with some soil. And I see here too that I've got lots of the Columbine coming, little guys. So when all of these little guys come, especially when they're coming into where you can